Studio, Mary Meyer. She was with the Friends of Camanche Library, and they've got an event coming up this Friday evening, and that's why Mary gave me a call early this morning and said, sure, come on into the studio, let's talk about it. So Mary, what do we got coming up?
Well, we have a wine tasting event, and we have local authors as our entertainment. So we have as many as 12 local authors coming in, and they will have their books that they would sell to you. They would be happy to sign them. They would be happy to visit with you. And we have an assortment of topics. We have Gary Clark, who does haiku poetry, Bill Miller, who does growing up on an Iowa farm, Audrey Miller has children's poetry, Emily Simpkins has long-necked sheep, Diane Wilging has yoga, Rhett Simpkins has the biggest little fruit monster, Andrea Lee Witt has a historical romance set in Scotland, Joel Barrows he's written several books. He writes thrillers that are kind of set in the wine country, and one is deep purple cover, and he has red purple cover, or deep red cover. And Jody Tui writes about, she's written several books also, but one book deals with the twister that took out Camanche in the 1800s.
Yeah, Camanche was a thriving community rivaling Clinton, and then all of a sudden this took place. Should be very interesting. I would imagine these authors are very appreciative to have the opportunity to talk about their writings to various folks.
Well, I hope so. The Camanche Library is a very special little library. It sits right on the Mississippi River. It's got a beautiful view of the Mississippi. You can watch birds, geese, of course, but eagles in winter and the white pelicans. And it just is a very special location. And the Friends of the Camanche Library are very interested in supporting children's reading. So there's a summer reading program. That's one thing that we're very involved in, and they have prizes and snacks and activities and a party at the end for the children. And another thing they do that's kind of fun, on the 100th day of school, every kindergartner in Camanche gets a little book about the 100th day of school. So there's a couple different little books on that topic, and that's a fun thing that we do.
So when does the 100th day of school actually occur? Is it in the spring? Is it going to be coming up, or has it already taken place?
No, that's taken place. It varies with the snow days.
Okay.
But sometime in January or February is the 100th day of school. And it's kind of a big deal. The one year, all the teachers dressed up to look very old. And one of the little children asked if I had a wig on because I have snow white hair. But mine's natural.
As Art Linkletter would say, kids say the darndest things. So, Friends of the Camanche Library, wine tasting coming up this Friday, 5 to 7. Talk more about that. What's all going to be taking place besides, of course, visiting with the authors?
Well, that's going to be the entertainment. We're going to have wine available. This is a no-charge event. You do have to be 21 to play, though. But we'll have several different varieties of wine, some munchies to go with them, and we just want people to have a good time, and we'd like people to come into the library and see how really nice it is, because it's a very nice library. There are puzzles to work. There are used books for sale. They have a lot of the bestsellers, and they can get a lot of different books. If they don't happen to have it in stock, they can borrow it from other libraries. So they have computers and copy machines and all of those kinds of things that you would expect at a library, and the librarians are very helpful. So if you need help figuring out how to send an email or something, they can certainly do that for you. And they're just very friendly, very nice. The children's librarian is very energetic, very entertaining, and the children's library area has Legos and puzzles and lots of little activities for the children in addition to the books. They have story time, so they do lots of fun things.
Again, visiting with Mary Meyer, Friends of the Camanche Library, a very unique setting where the Camanche Library is, and you were telling me that at one time that was actually a residence.
Yes, it was. It was a very nice residence. It has two large bay windows that look out onto the Mississippi River, so that's just really very special. And it's located at 102 12th Avenue in Camanche. It's very easy to find. It's on the river. But yeah, we really enjoy it. Our family has gone there for over 40 years with the children and adults, and it's a very economical way to read. I like to read a lot, and if I had to buy every book I read, I would probably be poor.
So how active is the group, the Friends of the Camanche Library? Are there other things that you do throughout the course of the year?
We do a couple of book sales a year. We usually do one associated with Camanche Days in the summer. That's kind of one of probably the biggest ones. Let's see what else. We help pretty up the environment. So we have bought perennials, we buy annuals and do flower pots, and just try and make it the outside of the library very pretty. We've also bought artwork for inside the library, again, just to make it pretty. We helped buy new carpet one year because, carpet doesn't last forever. So that makes it, again, a much more pleasant, welcoming environment. And it is a very pleasant environment. And we'd love to see more people come there because I think you'd enjoy it a lot.
Okay, it sounds like a very active group. Friends of the Camanche Library, again, a wine tasting this Friday from 5 to 7. There'll be a number of authors on hand. You're going to find out more about the Camanche Library. And Mary, thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it very much.
Are you looking for a great